What's up, internet? It's your boy Ronan, back at you with another video. I know I've been missing in action for a while, but I have a good excuse this time. If you don't know who I am, my name's Ronan. I'm a artist, illustrator, designer, but most importantly, comic book aficionado. I have a really cool webcomic called The Heavy. You can check out in the link in the description below. If you like militaristic, sci-fi, drama kind of stuff, I think you'll like it. Mechs and stuff like that. A lot of cool, detailed machinery and like weapons and stuff like that. A lot of cool stuff. So check it out in the description below if you think you'd like that. And that's kind of why I'm late today. What I've been doing of late is I'm trying to grow my audience a little bit. So I'm trying to get my comic book onto more and more sites, more and more platforms and stuff. So I'm having to reformat the comic book for different sites. Like I said, I apologize for being late, but I think you can forgive me this 10th time. But anyways, I'll catch up with the end. I hope you enjoy the video. All right, peace.
All right, I'm trying this again because the sirens are all blaring outside. Seemingly all the time when I'm trying to record this. So anyways, as I was saying in the intro, one of the reasons why I'm doing this, trying to reformat my comic book, is that I'm trying to get it on more sites, more platforms, so that I can try and gain an audience. And also, I'm not trying to reformat it. I mean, I have to pretty much, because some of these comic sites are not designed in the way in which I design my comic book, so I don't have really a choice in the matter. And the reason I'm doing this is, like I said, I'm trying to gain an audience, but also when you're trying to do something like what I'm doing, you have to constantly be looking at all your options, constantly trying to figure out how to best use your time and how to best take advantages of things to try and grow that audience. I personally am not really a big fan of Instagram or social media in general, simply because to succeed, like especially like on Instagram, you have to be posting every day all the time. And any person who produces art will tell you, especially a person who makes long-term projects like I do, that I don't have something to post every day. Sometimes I just did a bunch of boring sketches and nothing came out of it. Sometimes I was working on this, and it just didn't work out. Or sometimes I might be working on something, it might take me 3 days to finish it. I can't post in that time frame when it's not finished. I might be working on something for a week. You want me to take a photo or show you a picture of the same thing? So it's just like, to succeed on Instagram, I kind of feel like you have to design your work for Instagram. And I've seen plenty of artists who do that and they're successful on there. But when you're making long-term projects like I am, the work isn't really conducive for social media. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now, because I'm putting on other platforms. Like I'm going to be putting on Tapas and Webtoon. They already have built-in audiences, so I'm reformatting, and they both have kind of different. Dimensions, so I'm having to redo it for both of them. I'm having to do things like make the lettering bigger and things of that nature. So it's a little bit time consuming. It was something that I didn't anticipate myself doing. Originally I only wanted to have my own website, but originally I didn't even want to do webcomics in the first place, so it kind of doesn't matter. I've warmed up to different ideas over time. I used to be a staunch old school, like only print comics, but after a while I figured like I could print them out later. It doesn't matter. I can make print. I can still print the comic. So reformatting right now, and that's why I'm a little bit I've been a little bit quiet on the YouTube front. So I'm right now, and I'm doing in this video is I'm doing a little cover for the sites. I personally like the cover that I did originally. I don't feel like the cover should be a one-to-one to what's in the actual comic. I don't think it should be so on the nose, but that's kind of the designer in me as opposed to the comic book artist or reader in me. So on these sites, you kind of have to have more of a one-to-one, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be kind of on the nose. So that's what we're doing in this video, making a little cover real quick so that I can put it up on the sites. So yeah. So here's the finished illustration. I don't have any type on it yet. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to use the original typography from the original cover, or if I'm going to make new type on there. Yeah, so this is the final illustration. It's not the final cover per se. So yeah, like I said, I wasn't too jazzed about having to do it, but I have to make a cover that's gonna really represent what's in the comic book more accurately, I guess. So hopefully this will do a little better on these sites.
Hey, skanks. It's time to talk about comics. I can call y'all that and you can't respond because you don't make videos. Anyways, this is a comic book that's kind of interesting called Space Riders from Black Mask Studios. This comic book is so weird because it's like, I bought these issues over several years, and it's kind of funny. When I would see them, I would just buy them. I wouldn't even read them. You know what I mean? Like, I would see them on the racks when I'm at the comic book shop, and I would just buy them because they were just so crazy looking. So these are not new. You know what I mean? These are, when did these come out? These came out a while ago. I don't know. 2017. You know, these are two different series. So, matter of fact, I think I bought the same issue twice without even knowing it. Yeah, I bought the same #1 twice. And I didn't know it because there had been so much time in between when I bought the first one. When I bought it, that I didn't even know I already purchased the first issue. But anyways, this comic book is like super weird, trippy, like acid trip kind of comic. It's about this dude. It's about this like stupid computer. Anyways, it's about this galactic organization called the Space Riders, and they're kind of like like the Federation or something. They're kind of like space police, I guess, or some kind of military unit. And basically, I guess they're just, they keep the peace or whatever. So there's the main character's name, this guy named Capitan Peligro rather. There's a lot of Spanish in here. I don't know. I guess he's supposed to be. I don't know. There's a lot of Spanish, but it doesn't seem like they're supposed to be Spanish. I don't know. They just say a lot of Spanish words on occasion just to. I have no idea why, but it's just a weird comic book like that. So they find this cool. Like, look at how trippy this looks. It's kind of a little bit Jack Kirby, like how he interpreted space, but also a lot of like just psychedelic acid trip kind of stuff. The colors in here are crazy. So you got this guy named Capitan Peligro. He gets stabbed in the eye by one of his crewmates, and he gets kicked out of the Space Riders for a year because I guess he's supposed to be psychologically damaged or whatever. I don't know. So he gets kicked out of the Space Riders for a year. And then he gets put on a series of missions to reinstate himself. Also, his father started the Space Riders. So he gets sent on a series of missions to kind of prove himself again. So it's just a weird comic book. Like, it looks all grungy on purpose. You can see how there's just like, let me see if I can zoom in there. A lot of grunge on the pages. They do a lot of like misregistration with the colors and things like that on purpose to make it, look like an old kind of 60s, just like acid trip kind of comic book. And so he gets these two crewmates. He's got this weird baboon dude. He's like a super religious guy. He's always praying and meditating and stuff. And then he's got this robot lady, kind of standard robot lady. But they've got this really cool ship called the Santa Muerte. It's just a flying skull basically. But it's kind of more of a surface comic. There's not much to it. It's not deep or anything like that. Or it's just crazy action, absurd art. And like, look at these dudes. This is some real Jack Kirby looking stuff right here. These dudes called Vikers. They're Viking bikers, and they're all throughout. I got 2 different volumes. They're constantly trying to steal the Santa Muerte, the ship. So look how crazy these dudes look. And again, you look at this comic book and you're just looking at how insane the art is. And I'll give you an example. I love the way they do things, like when they do space jumps or whatever. They always make it look cool. Like, when they go into hyperspace or go at the speed of light. And so they go into this hyperspace and they go into some kind of what do they call it? Some kind of vortex type thing. And it just makes them go crazy. So tons of psychedelic stuff. He's going crazy. He's having visions of the guy who stabbed him in the eye. The baboon dude, who's real religious, is having these spiritual epiphanies and stuff. It's crazy. I mean, just look at this. Love that. And it's just a crazy, weird comic. I read the second volume before I read the first one. I didn't really like it because it wasn't making sense. But the first volume reads a lot better because they kind of explain a lot more in it, even though there's not a lot to explain. They explain a lot more and it makes a little bit more sense. But I mean, just look at these weird elephant, the priest of the sacred fire. Look at these weird looking elephant dudes. It's just a super weird comic. At one point, they're look at this. And the thing about the comic book is it kind of toes that weird line between kind of campiness and trying to be taken seriously. It's very difficult to do, and I'm not sure if they pull it off, but it has enough, funny or interesting things in it that makes it kind of cool. Like it hits the mark enough times, and like I said, the artwork is cool enough. Like, there's a point where he goes, he's floating through space after he got stabbed by he was betrayed by his shipmate, and he's floating through space, and he says, "I remember floating there, wrapped in the cold embrace of death. But then I heard my father's voice. Don't even think about it, boy. It ain't time to die. It's time to kill." And he wakes up. So it's just like a lot of lines like that in the comic. Crazy little one-liners that are kind of cool and kind of silly. But like, look at this thing. This weird, crazy-looking, gigantic robot ship. It's just super weird. And again, purposely weird, but it's still, like I said, hits the mark enough times to where it's like, forgivable. Like, look at this weird, crazy space whale. So and this just constantly happens in the comic. Like, they'll be going from one thing to another, and then this space whale shows up, and they're just watching it, and then these poacher kind of guys come up and try and kill it, and then they fight the guys, but then they get mistaken for attacking the space whale by these people who are protecting it, and then they take them hostage. They take them prisoner. It's just, and constantly, like, everything in the book, it doesn't really follow, it kind of doesn't really make any sense, to be quite honest. I mean, it makes sense, but the way the pacing of the book is just like one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. And so it makes it kind of like, look at this scene right here. Look at this. I can't even remember what happens before this. What is this? Oh yeah, they some other weird, honestly, vagina shaped, some vagina shaped kind of space, ripping space time or something called the Tormenta Cosmica. They're fighting these guys and they fly into it by accident, and then he goes through this thing. Just look how cool this looks. It's so dope looking. And I don't even know what goes on here. It's called Limbo. And just like the way he talks, the guy, the captain, his character is so stupid. He's in limbo in a totally different dimension. And he's just like, God damn it, this is limbo, ain't it? You know, like the way he talks. And there's a lot of cussing in here too. Lots of cussing. Usually he's just like, you know, time to die, and then he cusses and they're fighting. Like that's most of the fights basically boil down to that. But yeah, not much to say about the comic book because I mean, just look at it, how cool this looks. And again, it's not a lot to say. I also perceive the art more like I don't look at this as comic book art. I look at this stuff kind of like, imagine this on the side of a building, a mural or something. You know what I mean? Like it's not traditional comic book art to me in that way. It's more like psychedelic pop art kind of. You know what I mean? Like look at the color schemes and stuff. Like this is not. Look at this spread. You know, I could just see this, you know, as like a blacklight poster or something like that. So that's kind of how I see this comic book. It's not really like a traditional just action comic or superhero comic. One thing I do want to say though that I like, his mask looks really cool because he got one of his eyes stabbed out. This is just a really cool outfit. This is his little space, his going into space outfit. He's got this skull, but only one eye, which I thought was really dope looking. Yo, so I had to edit that out because it was getting too long. But anyways, this was Space Riders. It's a pretty cool comic book. Maybe I'll do some illustrations from it. I don't know. But yeah. So that was a video. I hope you enjoyed it. I think in the future I'm just gonna start breaking out my just comic book reviews into their own independent videos, so that way I can probably get more content out for you. So look forward to that in the future. I think my next video is actually gonna be just a review of another comic book. If you like the video, please, like, subscribe, hit that, thumbs up is like, share, all that good stuff, comment, and by the time I put my next video up, hopefully my comic book will be on other sites. But if you're paying attention to my comic book, there's not anything new there yet anyway, so it's not that big a deal. But anyways, I appreciate you hanging out with me today, and I will catch you next time. All right, peace.